So this is a quick demo of the Supro Blues King 12. I'm playing through a Man Sterling Valentine signature guitar. It's got a humbucker in the neck, a single coil in the bridge. Tone control will be wide open. I'll be playing the middle position. The Supro Blues King 12 comes with an effects loop. It's got analog spring reverb. It's got a volume and master volume, 3-band EQ, and these two cool switches, a boost and a gain switch, as well as a standby switch, which is kind of cool. I used to have a Blues Junior, and the Blues Junior doesn't come with standby switches, so that was kind of neat. I got rid of my Blues Junior, and I kind of regretted it, so I wanted to get it back, but I don't have tons of cash, and I was kind of maybe looking to see if I could get something maybe a little bit cooler for around the same price. And this amp is pretty hard to beat in terms of how much you get. Supro is kind of a high-end amp manufacturer, which sort of got my attention, but there's just so much stuff on this amp that the Blues Junior doesn't have. Just the effects loop alone makes it worth like the $80, maybe $100 price difference. So I'm gonna be playing with the volume kind of low. The volume and master are both at about 12 o'clock. The EQ is flat, and I'll be playing with no reverb to start off, and the boost and gain switches are off. Pretty cool. If you really kind of hit it harder, you get more volume, but at this kind of volume setting, it doesn't do a whole lot for you. But there's still a lot of dynamics at lower volumes, which is cool. So my old Blues Junior, at lower volume, you really didn't get much. But this one, you still get a lot of dynamics. It sounds nice. So let me just run for the reverb first. Here's a reverb at about 12 o'clock, so halfway up. The reverb on this amp isn't super, I guess, crazy. You don't really start to notice it up until halfway. maybe a quarter of the way up. Okay. Here's a reverb. So it's 3/4 of the way up. Pretty cool. And this reverb all the way up. So, yeah, it's a nice reverb. Really different from the Blue Stringer, but I like it. And I feel like, if you really want to get into it with a reverb, then you should buy a pedal, which is great with this amp because it has an effects loop. So, nice. So let's turn the reverb, have it a quarter of the way up, and now I'm going to go through the boost and the gain switches. The boost switch, I just know it's a FET-based boost, which is really cool because it'll kind of hit the preamp a little bit harder, kind of opens up the dynamics, gives you a lot more tonal range. It'll give you a volume boost, and I think it's awesome because you can buy a FET boost pedal for like maybe $60 all the way up to $100, but on this amp it's just a switch, and it is foot switchable. It's got a foot switch jack on the back. So boost off, boost on, off. Yeah, loud, but tube amps, the louder, better. Off. On. Yeah, so when the switches are off, the amp is pretty, I don't want to say sterile. I've heard the word creamy. It's pretty creamy. Alright, so the switch is still on. like to play with the boost switch on most of the time. And with it on or off, you really notice the dynamics of this amp. You can just play it so softly and you'll still get off. You play really softly and just get the sweetest, clearest notes out of it. And Blues King, I mean, you really couldn't appreciate it until you crank the volume up a little bit. But on this one, I really don't have to do that. And another thing about the Supro Blues King 12 is that when you do crank the volume, unlike a Blues Ringer, it just gets straight up terrifying, right? It gets so freaking loud and it gets so nasty. And I mean, then you flip the switches because you have to do that, and it's like the gnarliest sound I've ever heard come out of an amplifier. It's so cool. The Blues Stringer never did that. The Blues Stringer is pretty tame. When you overdrive the Blues Stringer, you do get a nice kind of American overdriven sound, but this amp just turns into a monster. I mean, I can't really play it that loud very often unless I go to a park or something. And I think in most, kind of gigging situations, you would never play it like that, but it's there. Alright, so I'm going to turn the boost switch off, and both of these switches can actually be played at the same time. And leaving everything else the same, I'm going to turn the gain switch on. So that was the switch on, off. Yeah, big volume difference. Really quick, let me just kind of turn the master volume up to compensate for that loss in volume. So here it is, gain switch on. And here is with the volume kind of compensated. Yeah, so it definitely gets a little bit more growl with that gain switch. The clean sound without any of the switches is not bad. Don't get that impression. It sounds awesome. But once you hear those switches on, you're going to want to have them on like all the time. So here's some more of the gain switch on. So, it is a high gain switch, but play with the volume, mainly at lower volumes because I can't really crank it in here. It gives it a different character. You get a little bit of growl, kind of a low mid boost, and it's not just for scary music. It's a lot of tonal variety that you can get from messing with both of these switches for lots of different styles of music. I like to play blues, but I don't really constrict myself to one particular genre. But at the same time, I'm real big on like soul. So blues tailored amps like this one kind of try to deliver that soul, to people who are looking for it. And this guy has a 12AX7 preamp with a 6L6 power tube, and it's Class A. And what that means is that it has some soul. So I'm happy with it. I'm also going to play with both of the switches on, because they're two separate switches. You can have them on at the same time. And I'm going to show you what that sounds like. So here is... how could I do this? So I'll do it 3 ways. So this is the gain switch only. Now I'm going to turn the boost switch on. So pretty cool. Now it's just the boost switch. Both switches on. And both switches off to both switches on. Yeah, once you go from that to that, you just don't go back, Yeah, you just don't go back, man. Low volume, you get a nice sound, nice clean, kind of jangly sound. And then you turn those switches up and you just get, more of everything. So it has its uses, you don't, I guess, you wouldn't use them all the time depending on what you're doing. But, yeah, for fun, they're the fun switches. So, if there's anything else, let me think. It has a 12-inch speaker, so it's called the Blues King 12. It's not that heavy. It's got some weight to it. I'm a young dude, so I don't mind the weight. But it's just an awesome amp. It's super loud. For anything that I would do, kind of like playing bars, or going somewhere public where I can be loud and being loud, it's way more than I need. But that's fun. So yeah, I hope you guys liked my quick kind of demo. Um, maybe I'll do some more, showing it cranked somewhere if you guys want that.